Back. Sorry. We're
Hey, good morning.
back.
Yep, good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good. I don't really hear the music, Alexa,
Oh,
unless
you
it's in your
don't?
head. Unless it's in your head.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, a little better. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah? Okay, because I don't know how my volume sounds anymore.
Yeah.
I'm at my
Cool.
headquarters. Forgot what it's like. I was on the road.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. The people in South Florida. I know it's a perfect day for a webinar. It's a little cloudy, a little rainy after a beautiful weekend.
Oh, sorry. Chat's open now, people. Chat is open.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good morning.
there's no excuse. Right? It's too pretty out. I want to go for a walk. Nope.
Let's go.
You're at the
BPM
BPM studio.
Paradise.
Good
Wow,
morning, Andrew.
I'm looking at some of the names here. I saw some of you guys this Saturday in the morning. Esther. I saw some of you guys in the afternoon.
Andrew, I finally got you your membership. Thank you again.
We got some Next Million Mastermind people. Mike, how you doing? Mike and Salvi. Okay. I see some new faces too, or new names, I should say. Unless that's Julio's fan club. Never know. Good morning. Good morning. Gotta watch out. Our Julio Merlano might be a smooth operator. Yeah, Tuesday morning. I'm excited. One of our first fireside chats. Go ahead, put in the chat. Where are you guys listening in from? Because I know I see some names, and I know all you guys are not from South Florida. And as the music's going on, do I have to do the sign about the U?
It's all about the
That's
you.
it. That's it. For you college football people, if you guys are all hiding out, you know the University of Miami is in the national championship game.
Let's
And
go.
hey, yep, I know Lucian, one of our mentors, is a big Canes guy. He's a season ticket holder. I wonder if he got tickets. Take me, don't take Denise.
I know he gets first dibs, so let's see who he
Yeah, well,
picks.
yeah. If the challenge is if Lucian doesn't take his wife, I think he's gonna be moving in with me. So I think that might be a challenge. So maybe better take Denise. And if you get an extra ticket, don't forget your favorite friend out there. So
Oh my gosh. Well, on that note, welcome everyone.
Mm.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining our webinar today. This is BPM Maria. If it's your first time here, welcome. Everyone coming back. Thank you guys so much for coming back and for joining us on this amazing start to the new year. This month of January is just absolutely popping off with events and things to do. You guys have been showing up, showing out, and you literally sold out our happy hour event on Thursday. So I'll talk about that a little bit more. But welcome to BPM Maria. That's Broward Palm Beach, Miami-Dade Real Estate Investors Association, your only local and approved chapter here in South Florida that is in compliance and partnered with the National Real Estate Investors Association. My name is Alexa, COO here at BPM Maria. I am joined by Anish Dave, our CEO. Harry Diamond, one of our incredible mentors and investors, local member here, as well as Julio. He's one of our local members, students, and just an incredible person that you're going to meet very, very soon. But we just had our quarterly networking event last week, and we had over 90 people attend. So I just want to thank you all for coming out and keep spreading the word, keep sharing this with people who want to get involved in real estate investing or just real estate in general. We are so appreciative of all the positive comments on the space that we create. I just got so many compliments on how we create such a safe space, a welcoming space, and just the level and quality of people that we have in our community. So really, really, really grateful for that. And just continue spreading the word so we can continue growing this community and getting people successful in this industry and aligned with the right people, most importantly. So, really appreciate everyone who came out and looking forward to seeing you guys at all of the other upcoming events that we have coming up, which I dropped the link in the chat. Please go ahead and check those out. If you have any questions on registering, don't hesitate to reach out. But I have this QR code that you'll see on the top of the screen that you can go ahead and book a discovery call at any point. I'll have it on the top of all of my slides here. Just going to get you guys some quick updates, and we will get started with our webinar today. So to get us started on a super positive note, we will be raffling a free seat to our 2-day quick start training in this webinar. So somebody attending today's webinar will win a free ticket, $895 value. All you need to do is text the word quick start to this phone number you see on the screen here, 954-800-6961, and I will announce the winner at the very end of today's session. So stick with us until 12:30 and you will hear if you are the winner for today's raffle. And those details will be in the chat box as well. So make sure you're checking out that chat box. I'll be popping helpful links and things in that chat box, and then we will be taking your questions as well, you guys. So easy way to keep up with events, go ahead and text BPM REIA, all one word, no spaces in between, to 954-800-6961 to receive our updates on events and things we have going on in our community. Super easy, super convenient. I love it. Details in the chat, guys, because we're going to keep on moving here. Our 2-day quick start training is coming up in less than 2 weeks, people. So please get on board. We're going to be covering wholesaling, flipping, rehabbing. We're going to trickle in some AI to help you guys optimize your business, your real estate business. We're going to trickle in some creative financing hacks. We're really going to cover everything from A to Z in the 2 full days from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Thankfully, you guys get to take this in the comfort of your home, although we will do cameras and microphones on, so it will still be extremely interactive. You will get some networking in with members, some new mentoring students we'll have in there. We'll have some people who are potentially going to join the coaching program in there. It's going to be a nice mix of people. So you're really going to get a lot out of it. We have 4 incredible guest speakers that join on this training. They're all local business owners, all people that help us with our deals and on our power team. This is extremely important because you will want them on your power team and helping you get deals done once you learn our strategy and how and why and what we do. So that is what this weekend is going to be about. And thankfully, Anish thinks of everything and added a money back guarantee for you guys. So after the first full day, you can get your money back if this is not a good fit for you. So we got you guys covered. And we want to make sure that you are spending your time wisely and efficiently with us, learning how to do what we do. So please join us. Link is in the chat, bpmquickstart.com. And somebody will win a ticket today. So that is really, really exciting. Memberships, as you guys know, you get all the goodies. You get 1 year of benefits with the National RIA benefit package that we get. This is discounts to Home Depot, Office Depot, Millennial Property Insurance, Red Perfect, and Landlord Tools. You get in free for our 4 quarterly networking meetings that we have per year. You can bring guests in at a discount. You get access to the member directory, a data portal, all that good stuff. So please go get your membership if you don't have it already. Start getting access to these benefits and special pricing on workshops that we do. And if you have any questions, you guys know I'm here for you. So thank you guys for answering these polls. Helps me know that you're out there and really engaging with us, which I appreciate. So last but not least, mentoring and coaching here at BPM RIA. Some of you may know that we offer one-on-one coaching and mentoring. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about, and today's webinar is going to get you a lot of insight on that with one of our students here, Julio. But we have a one-on-one coaching program where we put up 100% of the money for the deal and split the profit 50-50. We're going to talk about it today with Julio, but you guys, please don't hesitate to book that discovery call so I can get you a full breakdown of everything we include in the two programs we offer, as well as the pricing information. I'm going to be here for all of your calls. I love to speak with you guys one-on-one. All you have to do is book it on our website. Link is in the chat or use the QR code, and I will be getting you any information you guys need, as well as this 1 hour free consultation with a mentor so that we can really get into the nitty-gritty and see if this program's a good fit for you and get you to your deals. I know a lot of you guys have been interested in the transactional funding. That is a huge piece, but also we have such a great team of mentors and coaches here as well that they love you guys so much, they're in the webinar. So we have multiple coaches in the webinar right now. So that's how much they are dedicated to you guys making money and doing deals. I also have access to this third-party funding. You guys can scan this QR code. You get 24 hours, a response, a 0% interest rate, as well as a soft credit pull to get access to what funding that you have available. So go ahead and scan that QR code you see right here. And I can also send this to you guys in a follow-up email as well. I know some of you guys have been asking about this, so that's here for you. Thank you guys so much always for giving me some time to let you know what's going on here at BPM RIA. I do want to just quickly reiterate that our happy hour that is sponsored by Lending One this week is completely sold out. You guys sold this out over a week ago. So thank you guys who took action quickly. We will be doing another one. We'll have another one most likely in March. So please, once that's posted, just make sure that you lock in as soon as possible because this Thursday is sold out. We do have a wait list going. So those of you that have contacted me directly, I have you on the wait list. Don't worry. We will make sure to get in touch with you if anyone drops out. So thank you guys so much for your interest and for just going ahead and registering for that because we want to make sure that we create these spaces for people to really be productive and make connections and get in touch with the right people. So that's what these, exclusive member only events are for. So thank you guys so much. And we're really looking forward to that. And thank you, Lending One, for sponsoring that for us. And we'll definitely have more. So make sure you check them out on our website. All the vendor partners are listed there for you. So get in touch with them. Link is in the chat. And thank you guys again. So questions, people, go ahead and direct those into the Q&A box you see in the Zoom menu. You'll see a box that says Q&A with a question mark there. Feel free to put your questions in there. Although Anish is superhuman and reads the chat and the Q&A and everything all at the same time. So we're excited to hear what questions you guys have for the guys today. But just consider today's webinar as in having coffee with our CEO and some of our students and mentors because that's how it's going to feel. They did not prep.
Absolutely.
There is no list of questions. We do not have any sort of preparation for these types of webinars. So
Yeah.
enjoy everyone, and please don't hesitate to let us know what questions that you might have for the guys here.
Yep. Thank you, Alexa. So I do see a lot of new names on the webinar, and I do apologize. I do have a little bit of a cold I'm kind of getting over, so I'm on some cough drops a little bit too. And saying all that, I am super excited. So for the people that don't know me, I am president or CEO of BPM RIA. We're formerly known as BRIA. I've been a real estate investor or real estate investing for It's so crazy every time I think about this, like 25 years. So I've been in it for a while, made a lot of money back from 2001 to 2008. When the market crashed, wound up losing everything. I have a degree in finance. I'm a licensed mortgage guy. I'm a licensed realtor since 2004. I spent well over back then. $50,000 on a national program to learn how to flip houses and wholesale. The great thing was, I mean, great information. The great thing was they said, go to your local RIA. That's how I found BRIA. I took my last bit of money as I'm filing for bankruptcy to BRIA's old mentoring course, one of the top students, and I got to buy the companies from my mentors. That was back in 2014. And fast forward, some of the other things I've been up to, I've been working with the professional athletic community, former NFL players, baseball players now. They are in six major sports. I am their expert on wholesaling and rehabbing. I'm passionate about real estate and transformation. And one of the things is also is that we are the only approved chapter of National Re here in South Florida. So sometimes I like doing these fireside chats, and it's funny when Alexa said, "Yeah, there's no preparation." Even Julio might be scared on what I might ask or what I might not ask, and we do this on purpose. Meaning, I've been, yeah, I've seen a lot of webinars or interviews, and I really don't like the list of questions. And the idea of these fireside chats are you're literally listening in on when we get together, when I'm with Harry or Denise and Lucian or Victoria or Michael and Maddie. We constantly have conversations with our students, the good, bad, all the above out there. So, what we wanted to do is basically have you walk in on one of our conversations too. So again, if you have any questions that you want to ask any of the three of us, just go ahead and put in the chat, and I'll let Harry Diamond, one of the lead mentors and former student, I'll let you introduce yourself before our main guest.
Well, for those who don't know me, I started with the organization about 13 years ago, 14 years ago, under the tutelage of Anish. My wife and I quickly shot up to be the number one students in Broward County. We learned so much over the time that we decided to pay it forward and become mentors of the organization to help you guys succeed as well. Julio is one of our prize mentees, and we're very proud of him for growing and learning and doing everything. And if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to lose the moniker Hoarder King because his first deals were all hoarder properties. But we're very proud of him. So welcome to.
Absolutely. Thank you, Harry. And Julio, the big shot
Hey
guy
everybody.
today, right? So you want to just give some background of who you are?
Yeah, so I'm Julio, by the way, Julio Merlano, and I started buying property in Colombia, and I'm like, oh, I know about property. Like, I'm a realtor guy, whatever. And then I realized like I didn't know nothing about real estate until, I joined this program, and then that opened up my eyes, and I realized I didn't know nothing about real estate at all. And, learning and having these mentors has helped me a lot in a sense of like, every day I'm still learning. It's definitely a learning process every day. But, we keep going and yeah, that's
So how about I'm gonna start it backwards. So you grew up, you're actually a Miami native.
yes. I'm born in the county of Dade, 305, straight from the bot. No, let me stop. Stop.
You
So
can
I'm
say
from Miami.
whatever you want.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I was born in Miami. Just regular Miami guy, decided to join in the casino business. It was something that I wanted to do, and I'm a dealer at the Hard Rock.
Yeah. I always have to make sure that sometimes when I introduce Julio or talk about Julio, like, oh yeah, he's a dealer. And then I forget to say, oh, a dealer at the Hard Rock. They always think
Yeah,
Miami,
dealer at
uh,
the I'm a legal dealer. So yeah, I'm a dealer at the Hard Rock, and what's funny. The real story is I had one of the mentors from back in the days gamble at my table. So he used to like,
Yeah, the owner, one of the owners, you mean?
oh, the owner,
Yeah, Bill
Bill and
Leon.
Jen.
Bill and Jen. Yeah.
Yeah, so he used to come to my table and he's like, "Yo, you got this." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "You got this for real estate." I'm like, "I still don't know what you're talking about." So he pushed me to the point where I'm like, "All right, let me check out these meetings." And then I went to one of the meetings and I kept like, I went with a guess and she was like, "Wow, that's too much money." And one day I was like, "You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna jump off. Whatever happens, happens."
So,
And
like, you grew up in Miami. How long have you been working at the Hard Rock as a dealer first? Because I want to paint the background picture because I know a lot of you guys that are listening in and saying, "Man, this is too hard." All the fear, all that kind of stuff that happens when you try something new.
so yeah, it's definitely
So, yeah.
it
So, how long have you
I
worked
started
at?
with a company from 2008. I was working with a company. I started
Okay.
working with them, worked myself up to a dealer, and we make good money. So I did not want to grow up with a company because it's like if you go up, you start losing money because we work off tips. So as you go up, you lose. So I've been staying there, but also realize like this is it. Like every year we make around the same thing. Doesn't matter how many times I nice to guess or how hustle is always going to be the same range. So I figure I'm like I have to do something different. Like I need to like think outside the box. And so I'm like I need to like find a way to make more money because I was kept hitting that plateau, and I was like, you
Yeah.
know,
So, and I mean, you're working there full time. So, what's that? 17 years? You said 2008?
17 years with the
Yeah,
company.
so
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. So okay, I know you've worked there for a
long
minute. I
time.
knew at
Yeah.
least 10, right? And then 17. And so like do you want to talk about because you do it full time. Obviously as a dealer, it's not a 9 to 5 schedule. So what does that look like for you? Like your
So
schedule, that like how does that function?
yeah, so the schedule is not 9 to 5. So with that being said, I do go in at 12 in the afternoon. So what I do is like I have that time in the morning to, you know, I see this like okay, if I could put 2 hours in, three hours in the morning, and then go to work, I put something in. So it's like always drawing it, like always following up, always like if I could follow up with someone and then, write notes or, keep it moving, just not let it like sit there because, then time flies. They know if you don't call them back, if you don't follow up with them, they know like, look, this guy's not serious.
Yeah.
So that's, and I'll take, or sometimes I'll get my list and take it to work. So I do get a lot of breaks in between, like every hour I get a 20-minute break. So my 20-minute break, I'm like calling people, having my coffee or outside or wherever, and I'm calling people and building these relationships with people that yeah, Harry's
Yeah.
here, Harry's talked to several of them, and I don't know what they tell him, but he tells me like whatever they said is good, So that's something that I I build relationship with them. That's I'm not just looking thinking of money or how much money I'm going to make. It's more of a I'm building a relationship. I'm always following up. Some of them get better offers or they get out of foreclosure or and it happens, but I still keep that relationship with them.
I'm gonna still like dial it back out, Harry. Go for it. I saw your hand
I
up.
wanted to, a lot of people they talk about how stressed they are or how concerned, how much they focus on money. How, you just mentioned that you don't focus on the money, that you really work on building relationships with homeowners. How does that make you feel and have you noticed a difference by doing that as opposed to, your stress levels and all sorts of other things in your life?
I didn't understand the question. What do you mean my
I
stress
didn't
level?
understand saying it either.
Maybe I should give you a list of questions, Harry.
So I guess you're saying like how is it making me like a better investor? Maybe no.
Well, when you build a relationship versus focusing on the money, does it give you less stress? And do you have this like this pressure relieved off of you because you're not focusing on performing?
Well, last week or 2 weeks we had a student class, and I attended the class, and I've heard a few people like, why would they give you the house at that price, or why would they work with you, or why this and why that? When you really build a relationship and they trust you, they're not sleeping at night. They're worried that the sheriff is going to kick them out. They're worried that it's a lot of pressure. They have attorneys calling them, they have investors calling them, they have the bank telling them, everybody's telling them what to do but them. So it's like they lose control. And what I like to do is like build that relationship with them and show them like, look, you have somebody that's helping you. You're not by yourself. You're here. We're here. We know what's going on. We're telling them what's going on. And that's something that I do to build that relationship. And if I feel good, if it feels good when I'm working with them. It's not always a
Yep.
contract or a deal, but it's definitely, they open up in a sense of like, they're really stressed. They're like, there's nothing they could do sometimes. Sometimes like somebody's like, oh, why can you sell the house for $1 million? I'm like, because first of all, they won't get approved from a bank. They won't, nobody's gonna lend money. Even some investors can't even get a loan on these properties because, they have sometimes liens or this or foreclosure. So like sometimes you are that person that could help them. So
Yeah. I know a lot of deals that you're talking about. So for our audience, when he's talking about the lawyers and these people are calling because they're in pre-foreclosure. So on those deals, you're up against time. And even before we go into deals, like I still like touching on that you had no real estate experience, right? So how many guys put in the chat? Have no real estate experience, and now you're finally getting into investing, right? I want to see how many guys are that. And what I'd like to, I know Bill came in. You probably took his money from him, so he's probably said, "Hey, you better get into real estate so he could take your money." No, I'm kidding.
it makes sense now. Now it makes a lot of sense in the world.
Yeah, and by the way, for anyone that's listening in and you sat at Julio's table and he took your money, I have nothing to do with that. So at the casino, right? And so when when Bill, right, we'll just talk about that. He said, "Hey, come to a meeting and there's opportunities." When I was, or even today, what I always tell people, there's always opportunity around. It just depends if you see it. It depends where you are on your space, right? So when you actually said, "Hey, let me go check out," I got to figure out something else. Some of the other things that I do want to share, like Julio is very compassionate and passionate about his family. I met his mom. He's Colombian from Cartagena, and I know we'll touch on two things because I think this is really important. Is every time I talk to you, you talk about the legacy of what it means to have your name in Colombia as a real estate investor? Like what pushes you to really go out there? Is it, because I know you have a strong mom, but were you always like that? Or, meaning are you going to be the person in action or you're just waiting on the sideline? So what actually motivated you or the motivation with your family? Was there a turning point for you?
So I was that guy in the sidelines and kind of like, in that transition side of leaving, like getting out of the sidelines and being like the Arthur, I think you say. Like, I want to create my own story. I'm not gonna watch people create their story and me talk about them. So it's definitely transition from that, from like, what, if I don't go and get it, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. And let's talk about the feelings. Were you scared?
It's not being scared, it's just like opening up to something that, like, it's really not difficult. Is you just got to be consistent. So it's definitely not fear or scared. It's more of a
Okay.
it's a mind problem.
Yeah.
It's like it's how you think. I feel like all humans always thinking negative or doubting themselves, and the other man is not he was not born with a special little thing. He's just out there getting it,
Yeah.
you know. And
So I'm gonna put Harry on the spot. Were you scared when you said, "Hey, I'm gonna get into real estate investing because where you were at"?
No, I was too stupid for that. I had no clue what was going on, so I just followed the leader. I just,
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And
but I did. Once I learned more about it, yes, I was
yeah,
terrified about leaving
yeah,
and doing
yeah,
my own deals and other things like that. I because I
was
yeah.
that was that the question? Was that the question, Nish?
Yeah, like just
Scared
to
of?
say, like, yeah, were you scared? Like, what were you going through? You said, "Hey, I'm going." Whether it's going to a meeting, sounds interesting. Like the mental end of it, because for me, 100% scared. The only reason I became an entrepreneur was I got fired from the bank because I got my mortgage license. Right. So that was like 2001. I was stressed and I bought a one-bedroom condo on South Beach for $68,000. My mortgage payment with the HO was $631. Like it's crazy how I know these numbers, right? My car payment was 224 and my phone bill was like 80 bucks. And I was freaking out like, "Oh my God, I don't have a paycheck." So I was beyond scared, right? And so for me, it happened accidentally. So that's why I was just asking for you, it wasn't. Harry just said he wasn't smart enough. Harry's
No,
always
I'm still
playing.
working. I
No,
still work, so technically I'm still W-2 sucking on the titty. But
should I give out my disclaimer now?
shit, my bad. I forgot.
That's at
Like,
Miami
you're so
305.
Colombian. I was,
We're
305, baby.
yeah.
Let me stop.
Uh,
I
Alexa,
can't.
we don't have like that on TV, like that little delay. I should have a 30-second delay where
No, but we're both pretty much married to Colombians, and that was so giving Colombian.
yeah, and so let's even talk about that too, because I think it's interesting because I became an entrepreneur, as I said, by accident. You're still working. You're one of the few people that actually likes their job. Like you told me, you like it. You like meeting people. You want to talk about that too. And for the people, go ahead and put in the chat if you're W-2, if you like your job, put yeah, I love my job. And if you don't, just put no way. Yeah, Alexa,
I love
I
my
better watch out
job.
what
well, I
Alexa,
thought
you
she
better
was
stay out
raising
of
her
it.
hand for the second part.
Oh, that was a
Everyone but
trick question.
Alexa.
She was raising her hand for no way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right. So how many guys? So you want to talk about like about your job because we just assume everyone wants to give up their job. And
So,
so why
so
are you still working and at your job?
it's still a job at the end of the day, and it's definitely you have up and downs, and but I'm still young, so I'm still in the building phase of like if I could get extra money doing real estate, if I could still get a job and pay bills, it's it's still something for me that I'm not like comfortable where I want to be at. So it's definitely not a place where I want to be, where I want to quit my job, you know,
Right.
as I'm still
The-
building my business.
yeah, the reason I'm bringing it up, right, is that sometimes, how many guys agree with me that this is not a get rich quick thing, right? Just put in the chat. Yeah, buddy. Right. So again, you're building a business. And one of the things that's important is, we've seen some of the numbers and we'll talk about some of your deals too. One deal is an annual salary, right? For a lot of
Yeah.
people. So it could change very quickly. Most businesses, and I know Harry, you've had a couple businesses too. I think it's like 2 or 3 years until you actually start making some money, right? You could easily, I don't know what the numbers are on how many businesses fail within the first year, and it's a ton. So this is a little bit unique that you're actually could be in your house, you do one deal, and you've already made some money all the way through, right? So I think that's pretty possible out there. And so, again, we're talking about that you still like your job. Does that give you having your job and that guaranteed income to an extent? I know it's tips, above like the salary. Does that give you the peace of mind to go out there and like go for it when you're not working? Like what does that do for you? How like for you personally? And by the way, guys, remember this webinar, if you got questions for any of us, go ahead and put it in the chat. I mean, but yeah, as I said, you got questions for Julio, myself, or Harry, go for it, and I'll make sure I ask those questions too. So
So the question was, how does a what? Sorry, can you repeat the question?
yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying having a job, does that give you the sense of security to
Yeah,
really
so
go for it versus
is
versus
definitely like I said earlier, I don't want to repeat it again. It's definitely a you know, just being human, I guess. It's like
yeah.
what if, I work with a lot of people. I've been in the company for 17 years. I see a lot of people leave on their ventures and then come back like 8 months later or a year because it didn't work out or anything. So, I'm
Mhm.
definitely building my business. It's not something that I want to just try out and then if I don't like it, I want to go back to the casino. So I'm definitely not, I'm all in. So I definitely the day I leave the
Yep.
casino is because I'm leaving.
Yep.
I'm not trying to go back. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So
so
with
like one of the members I was just talking about, he said a lot. I like this, Charles. I've heard a lot of people say that your W-2 is your investment partner. So for a lot of people, it seems like you got the balance down correctly, because it's working for you. You're still doing deals, you're still working, you're getting to do a lot of things out there versus a lot of people that are in the W-2 world. I don't know about you guys. When I was in the W-2, I was exhausted, right? Well, like last thing I want to do is I want to come home and do something to an extent. So Harry, I know you were the exact opposite, right? Do you want to talk about how you got into it, the real estate? Because I know your story that you just went all in.
Yeah, we basically, burnt the boats and just there was no going back. It was just straightforward. But one of the difficult things is to, as far as mindset is concerned, is or thing that was difficult for me was that you're not getting a steady paycheck on it, and that's where a lot of people have trouble breaking free from that. But when you do get paid, you get paid in 3, 4, 8 months quantity all at one time, sometimes well over a year at one time. So you're learning a new way of financing your life. And so that was pretty good. But we jumped forward, both feet into the deep end, followed the leader, did everything you said, told us to do. We didn't understand most of it, probably all of it in the beginning. Like I said, we were too stupid to know any better. Or I should say, I was
For the
too
record, I
stupid.
didn't say that.
I
I've
didn't. You
never
didn't
said
hear
that.
we because Victoria would kill me if I said we. No, it's just me. But
Here at BPM Ria, we don't call we don't say that.
but we learned, very quickly that in this part of the real estate that we're teaching now is, and that you've taught us, is that it's constantly in flux and constantly changing. Banks are making new rules, and to think outside the box and adapt to
Yep,
what's happening. And because we have a group and doing more deals than most others out there, is that we're able to see a lot of these changes very quickly, adapt to them, or figure out a strategy and work with unknowns that show up, and they continue to be unknown. A lot of
yep,
them and
yep, and
challenges that we have to deal with.
yep, and Julio. So for our audience, so they don't know what kind of real estate you do. So do you want to actually talk about, are you a rehabber, creative financing, wholesaler? Are you lending? What is your niche? Not a niche.
so
What's your niche?
so at the moment I'm definitely a wholesaler, but definitely want to learn more on the financing side of it, of the lending side of it, of holding. So like I said, I'm still in a phase where I'm still building, I'm still learning, I'm still every deal is something new, is something I learn something new every deal. So it's like I said, it's always something, every deal is different, but
Yep.
if if you have the bases down, it's kind of like, are you building those relationships? Are you and taking control. Sometimes you got to take control of what's going on because I have a deal right now that I'm in control of it until like, some realtors, not to offend and I don't want to offend no realtors, but like it had nothing to do with like the deal. Like the seller, they want to sell. I'm ready to, I mean, they want to buy, I want to sell. We're in the same page, but the one realtor in the middle is like making things complicated. So I had to take control of everything real quick. And yeah, so but with that being said, when you're trying to speak to the homeowners, you want to build that relationship with them, but at the same time you want to take control of it and you be there like let them decide what they want to do, but give them like the missing puzzles so they could put the missing puzzle together. And then that's something that I
Yeah.
believe helps me in my
Well, I think Julio, one of your star powers is your moldable talent. And that's the same thing I would say about Harry and Victoria, some of our most successful students. As a mentor, or even like, again, I have mentors, they're the experts at it. So when they tell me to do something, I just go ahead and do it. I'm not really sure why at the moment until later, right? So I think it's really important. And why did you pick wholesaling? Was that just something that versus and again, because I know the other thing he's not telling you is you have, is it a couple Airbnbs that now you own in Colombia, Cartagena, you're
yeah.
on
So I
it.
own a couple apartments, but I just closed last month or 2 months ago on a Airbnb or an apartment in Colombia.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am
yeah. I'm sorry. Like what I was saying was like I know you're taking your profits from here, and you want me to buy and hold and build a portfolio. And since you're Colombian and Cartagena, the numbers make sense that you've been able to take some of that money. So
yeah. So that's one of my goals to like use some of that money and buy in Colombia and build a portfolio. We do have an Airbnb and it's doing numbers. It's crazy. It's like booked the whole month for 2 months straight, like every day it's been booked. When we first started, it was new and it was like 4 days from the first month that didn't book, but everything else has been getting booked and
yeah.
I'm
And
blessed.
you're inviting us down for a 4-day period when you have a break, so we all go down there and party in Cartagena.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. He's not giving us, like, we taught him too well. We still have to pay for the Airbnb and there's no discount. You know how that's I know how you operate and you should operate like that. So I agree with you on that. And so someone's asking what separates you from other wholesalers in your market? What would you say that if you had a, like, how are you different?
How am I different?
Yeah. Like what separates you? Like why are they picking you versus somebody else on the wholesale side? Or actually just signing the contract. I don't want to call it wholesaling.
How people, what I've, like I said, going back to, I'm gonna keep it simple and clear. You gotta build that relationship with them. It's that simple. Because, even though they're in a tight spot, they still gotta like trust somebody that's gonna be there all the way through. So, I make sure they understand that I'm gonna be there all the way until the end. A lot of people, even attorneys or all these people, they promise and promise and promise, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
they're not. They're
let's start with this way. Like, how do you actually find the deal? What do you got? Like, I don't want to jump into it. So what does a day look like?
okay. So
So,
just simple, I pretty much do everything you guys taught us, where we find a list of
okay, so
preferred closers
you're using software, right?
using
Let's
software, using RealFX.
ReFX
I'm
to find the deals. And then
Yeah,
what do you actually on the filter? So how many guys have actually used ReFX? Put in the chat. I'm just kind of curious. When you're in our coaching program, I go ahead and pay for Francisco is brilliant. We call him, an information specialist. Like he knows his stuff. So first of all, you got to have software. So the idea that you could get into this business and have, not put any money in, I'm going to call BS on that. Like you have to at least have to have software, right? You have to have money for a deposit. Otherwise, it's not a valid contract. So now you got the software. So what are you filtering?
I'm looking for pre-foreclosure, mostly in Broward area, and that have 30%. I'm gonna have to go back and see all that, but yeah, I'm doing
30% equity.
30% equity, and then I just flip it around to people that don't have equity. So I'm dealing with both people that do have equity and people that don't have equity. People that don't have equity, is the process. We'll do a short sale. If they have equity, then we'll just offer them a cash
Okay,
off. I mean,
price, yeah. And
an
and
offer.
so
Yeah.
there's a couple big things, guys, just so you know, is that we've seen if you came to the meeting on Tuesday, all the numbers are up on pre-foreclosures. So how do we know if it's a pre-foreclosure? They've been served. It's filed with the court records. So that's how we know, that's how the software knows. What we're finding is almost, I don't want to say the number, but and I think it was like around 70% of these pre-foreclosures have equity in them. So a ton of them have equity, right? So they haven't paid in a couple of years and all the prices went up. So for them, right, like let's say, I don't know, that you owe 300,000 on it, you're behind on payments for 2 years or a year, you're not going to magically come up with 20 or $30,000 to get caught up. So they don't know that there's that much equity. So for us on those deals, those are 30-day closings versus if they're upside down, right? They owe more than it's worth, then we have to do a short sale. So that's the big differences between the two when it comes to it. So now you filter the list, right? You have this list. Now, what does that look like for you?
So now is things have changed for me. Now I'm more in the world of using a CRM.
CRM?
Yeah, so I'm using the CRM now, and that's gonna help you a lot in the sense of keeping everything organized. Before I had things written down and I had a file that had it on Excel, I had it all over. I had to just spread it out. And it was like, things would happen where like I would just it'll be on there somewhere and I'll forget. And then I'm like, shit, I didn't call this person. And then I call them like, Julio, I'm sorry, I already sold or something.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a mess not having a CRM.
Yeah.
Now,
And
now
and so hold on a second. How many guys can relate to Julio? Right? That you're not really you're organized to an extent. So there's organized and there's efficient, right? So the CRM that we're all using when you're in our coaching program, it's REI Black Book. It is phenomenal. So we use ReaFax to find deals. We use REI Black Book to make sure that we're in touch with them. So you need to have a CRM. And I know in the beginning, and I'm not really what I'm going to say is, would you say you're pretty tech savvy or not tech savvy? Just out of curiosity. If
no,
like,
I'm not tech
no,
savvy at
no.
all. Like
Okay, so yeah, so for all the people that are not tech savvy, and he's young compared to me and Harry or Harry and I, and you would think, oh, he's tech savvy, and he's not, right? So that was just some resistance, right, in there, and so now, right, again, we found those leads.
So not only does it help me organize, it also helps me. Now, don't get me wrong, I did like a whole month of their, free classes that they have. So it was something that I put time into. Just
Well,
it's not,
yeah. So before even that, right? Let's go back before you even started doing that because you got a couple deals. So
yeah,
now you got that list. So how much money do you spend on marketing?
depends. I've tried Google, I've
Okay.
tried ads, I've
Okay.
tried postcards, I've tried
So wait, I'm
uh
going to hold you to this for a second. So on Google AdWords, how much do you remember roughly what you spent?
there was a time that I was spending like 400 a month on sending
Okay.
like through
I know
Google.
I know that that's a lot of money, and in the real world, that's not that in our market in South Florida. I mean, we were spending a couple thousand a month, and the leads I got, I was paying almost $500 a lead, and they weren't great. So I stopped doing that. So 400 on that one. What about
Yeah.
mailings? Would you
Then
spend on mail?
with the CRM, you do have that option to have a mail list. So you could send out mail, you could send text. So I don't know my numbers in that, but it's
Okay.
definitely
No, no. Before the CRM, did you do any mailers?
It did. I did my own thing. I did direct mailing, like it was a lot of work. So I will have to have like the address, and then I had to get it go like have it sent somewhere to get it stamped, and then send it out. I had to go to the post office and do it myself. It was just a lot of work. So I
Yeah.
just like, and I was not getting any calls with that.
So
Um,
let's start. I'm going to ask you the next question now, right? You did the mailers, you did that. Were you like obviously did you have a website,
yeah, I do
like a
have a
web form?
website.
Back
Yeah,
then in the beginning. I know what you have
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Back
yeah,
then
yeah.
you had a website. Did you have a web form to take in information or no?
No, I didn't even
Okay,
know.
got it.
Like I
Yep.
said, I'm not a tech savvy guy, so I was
Yep.
just, like, so I
Yep.
didn't like back then. It didn't really, it was not my thing. Like it was, like I said, I just had it organized, building relationship, making those
Yep.
calls,
Yep.
driving, but
I'm gonna still hold you to this because I want everyone to understand the process.
yeah,
Because I mean, I've seen where you've gone and where, the challenge I always have is people always see the end product. Man, Harry and Victoria are crushing it. Michael and Abby are crushing it. Denise and Lucian are crushing it. Julio's crushing it. They don't see the building blocks of what it took and I think it's equally important. So when you sent out mailings, right, or any marketing, what did you use as a phone number? Your cell phone?
so
Google Voice?
I
Call
did
there?
had, I have a Google number where I would like post on these, I had these side bandit signs I had, which I used my number. I did have a few calls, a few possible leads. Never,
Okay, so let's go back to this, right? You got that Google number, and what I could tell you, generally speaking, most homeowners will not leave you a message.
correct.
Like I'd say 9 out of 10, someone else could actually even ask, 9 out of 10, they're not going to leave you a message. So hopefully your Google Voice didn't say this is a Google Voice number, right? You at least changed the message.
I just changed it last week, but yeah, it did say it. I just changed it. It's funny you say
Okay, fair enough.
that.
And it's funny because yeah, you just make me laugh on that. And you're still doing deals, right? So like my point
Yeah.
is like, and Harry, how much money have you spent on marketing?
None,
Yeah,
zero.
none. Yep. So again, it's a list. Everyone's different. That's all I'm going to tell you, right? So we have students. I have people I know that spend in our group, not with BPM friends that I'm very good friends with. They spend about 100,000 a month on marketing, mailers, all the above. They have a full team versus from 100,000 to zero is what we're looking at, and the answer is yes to both whatever works for you. Our number, we have friends or, through BPM, RIA that I've known, they're doing a ton of deals and their average deal is just small, right? On the wholesale side, it's 5 to 8 thousand bucks. And they're doing a ton of quantity. Saying all that, they have a big machine, meaning they have acquisition, disposition, all that good stuff. And you know what I didn't ask, but it's probably going to be pretty common. Who is on your team, Julio?
So when I'm doing all this research, I did so after getting the CRM, I did hire a VA for a good price, and he was helping. Like, I was teaching him all the process that I was doing, pretty much teaching him what I was doing, and then I got him to find leads while I'm at work and make calls, and he set up the like a lot of things on that CRM. Where another option you have in the CRM, you could send out texts. So
Yeah. And
you could send out texts, and then that's speaking of that. Now that we're in that subject, that's how I got my last deal through that automatic
the
text messaging.
automation part of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
So
while I'm at
what?
work, actually I was in Colombia,
Hmm.
and the deal I'm working on now, he called me and I'm like, yo, I'm in Colombia right now. Let me call you when I get back to the States. He's like, call me. Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, all right. So when I got back, I had, I talked to him and I'm like, hey, and he sounded really like desperate. So he's like, man, I need help. There's, they're gonna kick me out of my house, and this is a big guy. This is a, he's very emotional, but he's a real tough guy, and he had a lot of history in this house. He raised his kids there, and yeah, actually one of them is a Navy SEAL, and so yeah, he had a lot of history and memories in this house, and and the bank wanted to take it away. Um, so I did, build that relationship with him. I went over to the house, saw the house, spoke to him. He's like he was rushing me, like, yo, when do you have the contract and everything? I'm like, let me look over everything. Um,
So like I'm just going to use this since quote unquote is a tough guy. Quote,
yeah.
I'm going to use that loosely. Is so when you went to the house, like what was the opening or like how did, he doesn't know you, right? So you found the lead. The first time, did you just call him before you got any automation, or did you knock on their door? Because I know you've gotten a lot of deals, and we're going to talk about that next part about knocking on doors and what you do. Was this, how did you get this deal? It was on the list,
So like I
pre-production,
said, so I have the CRM, I have an
yeah,
automatic, like just like I said,
text
I do work.
messages.
I
Okay.
work, so I needed the help. I wanted to
Yep.
I'm building a business, so I need to have all these moving machines happening while I'm
Yep.
at work. So with that being said, he texted me. I was in Colombia. Oh, he called
Okay.
me and I was in Colombia.
So that
And
was so that was the first time when he calls you actually.
that was the first
You
time he called me. I was in
okay,
Colombia. I
okay,
didn't
that
know who,
one's different.
you know what's funny? My VA got this house and I kind of like, cause I had him working on his own and I'm like, and I was ready to tell him like, I don't like this house. Like remove it from the list because it looks good on the picture. I'm like, this is not what,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
this
so
is
what I want to let the viewers know is that again, the condition of the house doesn't matter. The
correct.
motivation is everything. So the house might be, we're not looking for distressed properties in general, right? They could be distressed and the seller's not motivated. The house can be in good condition like you're talking about and they're motivated. So there's a big distinction between that. So a lot of people, they're looking for distressed properties
Correct.
in there. So I'd rather go back on your first couple deals.
Okay.
Was it the Broward Boulevard one or the Pembroke Pines
Broward
one?
Boulevard.
Okay,
Broward
let's
Boulevard.
let's talk about this deal. And so if you guys have been on some webinars, I do highlight that deal. And I always have to say this nice and slowly that we call Julio the hoarder king. Got to make sure I say that nice and slow and you guys don't think of something else. And let's talk about that deal 5040 on Broward Boulevard, how you found it. Obviously you used RioFax. Or no,
No, so,
you didn't
so
use
that one,
RioFax, all
so
right?
I had an appointment with a homeowner down the street from that house, and he was a nice guy. He was a reverse mortgage. He wanted to keep the house. His son was a firefighter. Really nice family, but they were. I was just there to helping them out. Like, so I'm driving back home, and I see this property like it's like abandoned. There's like 20 cars outside. Just there's like the grass is taller than the house. It's like a real scary, like do not enter kind of property. So I'm like, screw it. So I drove in, got the information, got the address, got home that same day. I looked up their numbers, their family members, the homeowner. I found out the history. I found out that they had liens on that property. I did my research. I did my homework before calling them so I can know how to help them. At that time, I don't know what I was doing. I was just like, Harry was just do it. I was like, all right. So so yeah, so I go back to calling them. I spoke to the son that same day. He didn't know me. He's like, look, Julio, his wife is a realtor. He's like, look, Julio. So he, slowly he started opening up to me, and then we really started connecting, and we had similar stories, being from Miami. He'd been Hispanic, so we understood a little bit what lingo. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're from
So
Miami.
what's yeah, you know what's really important on that? We call that background of relatedness, right? So whether it could be culturally, I'm a big sports fan, it could be sports,
Correct,
whatever you
correct,
could do to bond that relationship of any
correct.
kind, right? Is what you're
Yes.
looking for in general. And so how long did that first conversation
So
last,
that
give or
so
take?
that was a 20-minute conversation. Then he called me back, and then I realized like he was serious, because at first he wasn't like, look, Julio, I don't know. He lived in Orlando or Tampa, so he wanted
Melbourne,
Melbourne.
Melbourne, Melbourne.
Melbourne, yeah, he lived in Melbourne. So in that conversation, he did tell me, look, I want to get my father up here. He is a hoarder. That's before I even get out got to the house, before I saw it, I didn't realize how bad it was. I thought it was just like a, paper here and there. So, few weeks go by, he calls me back, Julio, we're getting closer to that date. I'm gonna need your help. And, this whole time I'm building a relationship. It was not a one-time deal, like first call, put it on the contract. No, it took, it's probably like 4 or 5 calls. Harry jumped on one of them.
Yeah, so after the first call, right? And let's even talk about what again, so when you're a student in at BPM, you're tied into a mentor. I only hear the end stuff. And so for even me, like this, I don't get the play-by-play to an extent. I just know, hey, those are the numbers, wire the money, and this is what we're doing. And that's why you have a mentor in general. So after the first call, so I know Harry, he'll push you in a minute. Like, that sounds great. Pick up the phone and call. And were you nervous or didn't know what to say, or how'd you feel on that first call?
So that was not my first call. So I was already and like, with talking to
Okay.
people, getting no's, building relationship, like helping other people with loan modifications. So I kind of had an idea, but at the same time, it was like I said, they're all different. They're all a different scenario. So you can't really use the same
Hmm.
script for all of them or have a script because you don't know where it's gonna go.
Yep.
And and definitely was I didn't know anything about liens at the time. So, Harry was there the whole time. He knew what to do. He knew who to speak to.
Yep.
And
So even before that, right? So
yeah, before that,
there's dad, the
yeah,
son,
yep.
his wife is a realtor, right?
That's
And one of
dad's wife is a
yep,
realtor.
yep.
Yep.
So is a realtor, right? So already you're like, oh, they got this covered to an extent.
Yes.
You
Yes.
called them a couple times back and forth going on there. You found that you did the research, you knew their liens, you talked to Harry about what kind of liens are going on there. And did they give you a price first? Did you walk the house first? What did that look like before you got to contract?
We actually walked out first, and I'm glad we did because it was like a special mission. Like he had to take dad out of the house. He took him down to a restaurant in Miami they liked or something like that. I don't remember. And me and Harry, we opened the door and we're like, "Whoa, like what just happened? Like how we gonna get in here?" And we're like, we just went in, and that's when we
Set,
saw.
set
Well,
the picture for everyone. When we opened the front door, how high did we have to step to get into the house?
I'm gonna say it was like a 5 or 6 feet of just junk. Like it was just like junk everywhere. It was wow, yeah.
No
And
access to the beds, baths, or even kitchen.
no access at all. Like it was like mountains of junk. Like it's like, you gotta like climb through mountains. And there was a little valley pathway where his dad was sleeping. And and there were these jugs full of
Don't
yellow.
don't say it. Don't say
Okay, 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 okay. So so yeah, but we went in and we realized what was going on. So we took the pictures we could. We realized this was really bad. We continue our conversation. So you gotta remember, you gotta like, understand when someone is a hoarder, you can't really like talk bad about their scenario. You gotta like, even though they're going through this is like a disease, so you gotta, every little paper for them is like gold. And if you take anything away from them, is really like you'll become their enemy real quick. So understanding this, talking to Harry, looking into like, it didn't take a long time like I thought it would, but it was a process to get his dad out of the house in a way where everybody was happy.
Now
Yeah.
he worked with us. He worked with you because you gave him time. What the son needed was time to get his dad to feel more comfortable about leaving.
This is the entry right here.
There's the front door. Yeah.
That was, yeah. And then if you went to the left, that was the bedrooms, and then that was the entry right there.
That's the left. Yeah, that's why you couldn't get there.
And there's the little valley outside, the little, yeah, yep,
Yep. And he was living there for, what is it, 5 years?
for a
Oh,
long time. No,
longer.
longer.
Lotus. Yeah. And so, okay, who's gonna be honest? If you walked into this house, would you pass on this deal? I can tell you when I first started in real estate, I probably nothing this bad. And I saw something like this, so there's like no chance. Yeah, I just wanted to pop up the pictures. I was like, yeah, let me see if I get these photos somewhere. But look at that.
God, I don't even
There's Harry. Right. So,
helps to have hazmat gear
yeah. So you guys are getting the idea. And it took 16 dumpsters to clean this house. So
to
just
the
wanted
point
everyone.
where our crew doesn't want to empty out houses for us anymore.
So yeah, it gives you a good idea. So now, you walked it. Did they have a price in mind? How did that go?
They did. So like I said earlier, her wife, his wife was a is a realtor, so she came up with a number. They wanted
What was the
seven,
number?
I think they wanted 750 or 700
Yeah,
something
as is, guys.
as is, ready to move in.
Moving ready, right? My
Move
real
in ready.
yep,
And
700 something. Okay.
another thing before we move forward, something that really mattered to both was that, they had some stuff that they haven't seen in a long time, some memories. There was a gun, there was like some memory things there that we promised them that we will, how do I say it, like get it for them and hold it for them, you know. So that was
Yeah, any
something,
any of the valuables. Yeah, anything that was important to them.
yeah, and that was
Uh,
that was something big that the son and the father really, really wanted. So we
yep.
focus on that too. So in that case, they couldn't take everything, but the things that they really, we got it for them, put it aside, and they came and pick it up. So that was something that I attached to because it's definitely you got to build a relationship. You gotta, you're gonna be there all the way through. And then if I call any of my homeowners I've worked with, they will answer in a heartbeat. And it's
Yep.
happened because, the other day something happened in the court, he answered the first ring. So, it's definitely something you gotta, I
Yeah.
don't know, for me it's something big. Like,
Yeah, what I'm saying is like the truth is, when I first started, would I go above and beyond something like that? I'd walk in and be like, "There's no way I'm touching this. There's no way I'm doing this," and that's the difference out there. So let's like because I'm going to talk about another one of your deals. So what was the remember they wanted 750, as is what was the price that we actually bought the house for?
I think we got that with 300. We bought it for 300 and then there was like 380 on liens. We had 380 on liens. That's another thing. As we're cleaning out the property, we're working with the city. Like every day, like every time, like before work, I will go out there and I'll make a meeting with the city, and they're like, "Nope." Like we'll clean out like I think it was like 8 dump truck, and they're like, "Nope." At 10, like, "Nope." Even until we got to a point where they like, okay, now it was that bad. We cut the
And let
grass like
me let me paint an additional picture to add to the story. This house is on an acre lot. The front road is Broward, and the back of the house is a golf course. But it's an acre. The house sits back about 200 plus feet from the road, and you couldn't, and already Julio said you can't see the house, and it has abandoned cars. There was also trash and all this other stuff. So as we were cleaning it up, we were cleaning up the yard, and that's what the city was interested in, not the inside of the house. They didn't care about the inside of the house. They just wanted to be brought into compliance. So as we pushed back around the house and cleared about 20 feet behind the house, that's when the city says, no, we want it to go the rest of the way. And I was like, well, why? We're just, and we did all this before we purchased the
Yep.
property, before we actually closed on it. But we
Yep. And
did
we
what
have
they
we have
said.
what I was sorry, Harry, I didn't mean to cut you off on
Okay,
that.
no, that's
What
fine.
what I was saying is that we have a good relationship. Harry's fantastic at this relationship with code enforcement. So you want
Julio's
the
the one
money
that
to
built it.
okay.
Julio
So
made the
who? All right
connections,
then.
and I just cemented
Okay,
it.
so I'll give credit to both of you guys on building because I know Harry, you're an excellent at that on other deals too. And it's important to work with the city. So they were happy about this. I know it was 380 something thousand dollars in liens. So a couple things. Since I put up the money for the deal, I'm okay, depending on the city, closing with liens. So that's not a challenge for me. Again, depends on the city. We know how to negotiate. Do you want to talk about what the final numbers were on? So we bought it around 320, I think, or 300.
300, 300.
300. Okay, we bought it for 300 and 380 something thousand in liens. What was the number that you got down on the liens? I know you guys were in front of the magistrate in front of the
Yeah.
city. So what was that? Do you guys, I know Harry knows the numbers. I know the numbers because we talk about this story all the time. What was the violations were or the final number?
So for the violations, there was three violations we had. They brought those each to $1 each, because we built that relationship, me and Harry, with the code enforcement and the management. So they kind of like put their neck out there for us. And so they brought it down to $1 each. And then there was like hard costs, like money that the city like used this
Mhm.
company to do. Those that they won't negotiate those. So that was like 1,700 for that. So we brought that 380 down to 1,700 plus $3 or
Yep.
something like that.
And the best part was when we sold it, we made our buyer pay for that. So
And
we
our
didn't
buyer
actually,
paid for that. So we
yeah,
didn't even
our
pay for
end
that. Yeah,
buyer on the flip, they actually paid it. So we didn't even
correct.
pay for it. And we netted, what was it, 130 something in profit, give or take?
Yeah, I think so.
135, somewhere around there,
A little
where
higher,
Julio,
I think. Yeah, I think, hold on, I'll tell you right now. One.
138, I think it was, something like
138, yep,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. And Julio made, almost $70,000 without using any of his own money. How many guys are now excited about real estate investing? Put in the chat. I want to make sure. And if you're not excited by that, I'm going to figure out what you guys are doing.
let's see if people are still awake.
Yeah. Yeah, some of you guys are, right? And so I do see a couple little questions in here, and this could be for either one of you guys. Is it harder to get into pre-foreclosure now due to competition? I'll let either, I'll let both of you a
What
quick one or
what
two
what
cents.
what competition is that? Like what?
Because of
That's
pre-foreclosure.
the
Yeah,
answer.
that is the answer, actually. Right? There is no competition. So I got you on that one. What do you say, Harry?
Very few investors want to deal with this, so they focus on other things. We have very little to no competition on most of our deals.
Yeah. And we're going direct to homeowner and we're fixing problems. We're averaging well over $40,000 right now on wholesale deals. The industry average is probably around 5 to 8. And the reason is we're going direct to the homeowner. That house has been like, if you guys aren't familiar with South Florida, I know some people are not. That road is, I don't know how many thousands of cars a day go past that house. And it was literally just sitting there. And again, the key was Julio went to go look at another house and he just stopped there. Right. So I'm going to kind of hit you on this stuff is I know you found a bunch of deals, right? You found a lot of deals just going to the gym and on the way home, right? How do
Yeah,
you want to talk about how that looks or what are you doing that you're finding these deals? And again, they're not listed.
correct. So that's my last deal was like that. I was training Muay Thai and I was just like, out of leaving work, going to go train. I see this property. I'm like, okay, this looks like something I like. But I also what was funny is I also saw like a dump or trash being picked up. I'm like, okay, so somebody already got it, an investor or somebody's already working on this. But something told me like, dude,
Stop.
just stop or go after it. So I did, and I started speaking to the husband. He's like, I want nothing to do with this house. It belonged to his brother that passed away. They were really, their father taught them not to sign any paperwork, not to trust anybody. It was like they're all the same. It was like five brothers, and they all had this mentality of not signing anything, not trusting anyone. So none of them wanted nothing to do with this property because they thought it was going to come back to them. So, one of the days I call, the wife picks up And she's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but definitely this house is becoming a headache for us because, the brother was going, he's the only one living here. The other ones were out of state. So he was going there cutting the grass, maintaining it for no reason because he didn't want nothing to do with it, but he was just being nice, I guess. So he cleaned it out. That's a hoarder house. That was a hoarder house too, but he cleaned it out. So that would have been another hoarder house, but the brother cleaned it out on his own, did a lot of work. So, building a relationship with the wife, he's like, she tells me at one point, like, look, we need money. I don't know why he doesn't want to do anything. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, well, you know, you could walk away with some funds if, we can make this happen. And then that's what got me to, meet them in person, get an appointment. I went to their house, and that's when I built a relationship with them. They had dogs. I love dogs. The dogs were all like they're huge. So they're like hugging me. I mean, I was hugging them, and the same day I took the agreement, we signed. So we signed the same day. It was we had to do probate. We had
So did we paid for the probate,
we paid for the probate.
right? So
They
when you're in our coaching program and you're working with a mentor, again, this is case by case, where we'll go ahead and pay for the probate when it makes sense. So a lot of investors won't do any of that. So that's something that's a little bit different that we teach our students that, yeah, these are calculated risks that you want to take. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then what adding to that is we did pay for the probate. He wanted nothing to do with this. So I built that trust, going back to the trust, where you need to build these trusts with the homeowners because, if they don't trust you, they're not going to work with you. So I built this trust with the brother, not knowing that I had to build this trust with the other sisters and brothers just to get them to sign because they all had this mentality of, their father teaching them not to sign any paperwork at all. So then building this relationship with the whole family pretty much.
So did you go one on one? How many brothers and sisters
I
were
think it was
there?
like five of them. Five,
Okay, so
yep.
you were reaching out to each one of them and
Yeah,
saying,
so he
okay,
talked to some of them, so some of them were like open, and then there was a few that they were still like they wanted to know my name, my business, where I was, the whole nine yards.
yeah,
I have nothing to hide. I'm like, let's go. What's up? So
credibility.
he,
Yep.
yeah, I'm like, we're here. We're helping you guys out. So they knew that the brother did all the work. So none of them wanted the money. So, we worked something out where everybody was happy.
Yeah.
And yeah, and
I
that
just
was
gotta say that's different from my family. Everyone wants the money. All right, okay, fair enough.
yeah. So, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's beautiful when you're seeing these things happen because you're really helping them. Like people like, oh, but why would they do that? Or why do they want to work with you? Or why would they sell their house at these numbers? It's like because they're not gonna get a dollar,
Yeah.
And
Do you remember what it was? The number? I know what the profit was. I
I
don't
think
I forgot
what number? The
that
buy
we bought
number?
that house for.
I think it was like 180.
Yeah, and it was a 3-2, right? Or
It was a 2-2, no,
okay.
2-1.5 with a garage.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's so hard to remember after so many different deals and you walk the houses. Yeah, so 2.5, and that was in Miramar, right? Or
Pembroke Pines.
Pembroke Pines. So imagine
Yep.
buying a 1.5 for you local guys for $180,000, and then we wholesaled it for I know three and change. I know the profit
Uh,
was around 120,
I think so. Yeah.
around there. I always just love it. Like I'm cracking up because when I did my first deal, my first wholesale deal, you guys have probably have heard it. I made $2,000 on an assignment fee, and I was unbelievably pumped up. I put $500 down. I assigned it. I 4X'd my money. And when you hear like, again, if that's another 130,000, that's another $60,000 check for Julio on the side while he's just driving, coming back from the gym, keeping his eyes open. And for whatever reason, guess what? He stopped.
Hey, I got the check to prove it. I had to negotiate this check, by the way.
Yeah. There you go. 127,000. There you go. That's funny. I was like, no. And the funny part about that is that, like, yeah, we got the check. He's like, no, I really want to take it. I'm like, What? Now I know, man. Yeah, Julio's a closer. He closed me on that. I was like, what do you mean? You know you can't deposit that, right? And he's like, I know that.
You get a few more of those, you're gonna have wallpaper.
Yep.
More paper.
Yeah. So a couple of quick questions also is for your VA, did you use a company to find a VA? How'd you find your VA?
So I have a friend that she runs a VA company in Colombia, so she helped me out with that.
Yeah. So someone's asking if you could share it. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
easy to
yeah.
share. I don't know if you want to just say it or put it in the chat.
So I got her number, so I don't know if
Okay. I mean,
I'll
if you're
I'll
okay,
have to, if yeah, that's the thing. I'm like
give it.
she'll be okay. It's business. But
What I would do, I mean, I guess,
I
okay.
guess yeah, if you I don't know, if you leave your
Do you want
number,
to check with her first
yeah,
before?
I'll check with her
Okay.
first. If you want to
Yeah.
leave your number somewhere
Yeah.
and I'll
Yeah. If you email our office or email me, Anish at BPMRIA, I could probably forward it to Julio and see if that works. They're also asking what's your most effective marketing? Um, I mean, that could be either one of you. I know neither one of you guys market, so really.
yeah, so my marketing now is definitely having that CRM and then having that consistency of them getting a message, a text message. Now it's just not any text message. You got to put
Yeah.
some strategy to it.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna kind of we're almost out of time too. It's so crazy how fast this goes. Is one of the things that we do use is REI Black Book for the CRM. The whole RIA, BPM RIA is built on REI Black Book. So when you guys text in for the raffle, guess what? We already have that. If you're getting all these emails out there, right? Where that's from us building funnels, sales funnels. You're opting in, you're like, man, here comes another one. We're even using more advanced stuff by using AI. We've created, we use ChatGPT specifically. We actually created special GPTs. I think I have about 15 of them. There's an initial one, there's a BPM one. Our team, I mean, even Alexa, if you want to talk about that for a quick second, of how we're using AI to do so many events and to be in touch with you.
Absolutely. So I have an niche GPT. No, I'm just kidding.
You
Just
do,
have
I
to
know you
ask
do.
the GPT for everything now. Pretty much my team and I share um, our ChatGPT account, which is the paid version. I have to tell you guys,
Yeah,
if you don't have the paid, you absolutely need it. And you'd be shocked. We're creating images, we're creating emails, text messages, just everything. And I used to like overanalyze an email just coming from the healthcare industry in my past, working with doctors and, hospitals and things like that. You would be staring at an email for an hour. And now it only takes me about 1 minute to send emails out. So just on the efficiency side, it's a dream come true. People might say like, "Oh, you're not thinking anymore," but honestly, I got to get things done. So,
yeah.
and
I,
that's what I use it for.
yeah, for the GPT and the CRM. So what I think was really important as we kind of wrap this up and we have our winner coming up for the quick start is, if you talk to Harry and you talk to Julio, they're not tech savvy in the beginning. Right. And I see Jenny Garcia's on this webinar. I've known her for 20 some odd years, and I was not even close to being tech savvy. You would think the Indian guy would be, but it's not in my blood. And fast forward. So, those small commitments will make a big difference. And once you start doing one, right, you don't have to do everything all at once. Use it for one thing. Before you know it, it's good for marketing. So when you do our 2-day quick start in 2 weeks, we actually have a portion of how we're using AI. So I think that's always important in there. In this
Oh,
business,
yeah.
we're adapting and we're all about efficiency is an understatement because, when you're not doing this, your competitors are, right? So as Julio started, building out a CRM, Harry's made some changes too. And again, like the old school way it works, and my point is, you're a lot of time you're just leaving money on the table, out there. So
We have the rehab numbers GPT, guys. So
yeah,
if you're one of our students, you get access to this private GPT that literally does the
yeah,
numbers for rehab, whether it's in Broward, Palm Beach, Miami-Dade, it does that evaluation. We've had people use it for even outside of the Tri-County area, and it analyzes by the zip code. So it's pretty awesome.
yeah.
I know it takes away the thinking part, but you won't be mad when you get the check. I promise you.
Exactly. How many guys put in the chat are love is love are how many guys are loving what we're doing today? And having Julio and Harry, uh, no holds bar, out there. Are you guys enjoying this? Because if you guys are liking these, we are committed. Like, I mean, I know Alexa, I looked at our schedule, like, we're doing a lot of events from in-person, webinars, and anything that you guys want, you could always email our team if it's some interest. If I could get the expert on in whatever field that is, I'd gladly do it. Again, our point today was really make it conversational, asking the real questions, no setup questions, no nothing. See what happens. So what I'm gonna do now, right? So I know some of you guys want to, say, hey, look, I need to get moving. It's 2026. I need to sign up for our 2-day quick start. So I'm gonna tell you, go ahead and do it. Give her the gift that you want. It's a money back guarantee. It's January 24th and 25th. It's 695 for members, 895 for non-members. When we did this pre-COVID years ago, this same quick start, I believe Harry and Victoria, Michael and Mabby, even Denise and Lucian, I think you guys all paid almost $2,000 per person. That's what it
Mhm.
used to be because of the hotel costs. Because it's via Zoom, cameras on, I save a bunch of money and I'd rather give it back to you. So before we announce the winner, I'm going to give some final words from, I'll let Harry, you had any final words about anything, even today, or, anything
Don't
that
let
you want to
don't
tell
let
her?
fear hold you back.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, you're seeing all of us who have gotten this and are doing well, and it doesn't matter our age, our background, or anything like that. And we're not one-offs. There's a whole organization of us that are doing deals. So just have belief in yourself that you can do this. I mean, Julio was talking about that, and once you get over that fear, which is just between your ears, it's
Yeah.
not real. But once you get over that, you'll join us on the cruises, the National Rio cruises, and the beaches of the world, and the dinners, and the lobster bars, and the et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. And Julio, what would you, because I see some new names that may be either new to real estate or they just started. I see some students on here too that just started. What would be the takeaway that you would say, hey, this is what you th should think about?
Something I'd take away, if you want to learn or jump into real estate, I recommend getting a mentor. Definitely getting a mentor, learning your numbers. If you're using your own money, get a mentor. If you're lending money, get a mentor because you're playing with money here. These you're not playing with five or a few grand. You're playing with 100, 200, 300. If you get those numbers wrong,
It's not going to
yeah,
be
so
pretty.
it's not going to be pretty. So that, is it like it's an investment? You go to college, you go here, you go there. Why not
Absolutely.
get a mentor for real estate?
Absolutely. Thank you, Julio. And before I give my final words, do you want to talk about who got paid to listen to Julio, Harry, and myself?
Yes, yes, yes. So, guys, I know we've been waiting for this moment. So, get ready. Our raffle winner is for the 2-day quick start, $895 value is Elise M.
Okay, congrats.
Congratulations, Elise. We'll be in touch, confirm your availability, and get you in this month, which is so exciting.
Absolutely. And also, what really also helps us out, guys, I know Alexa will, if she gets a chance, put a 5-star Google review
Yes, thank you
in
guys
the
so
in
much.
the chat. In the review, I mean, what we like, you guys know when you look at reviews, ours are all real. Maybe one or two things you learned about Julio or what you liked about today's webinar would be awesome. So if you could put that in there. And then my final words are, and exactly what Harry and Julio are saying. I spent well over, I want to say 250 or $300,000 on masterminds and mentors. That's the fastest path to success. It doesn't matter how well you do. I do pretty well, and I always tell everyone I got unfinished business. I want to move faster, right? Because for me, Julio is a little bit younger. Time is different for me now, right? So I want to be efficient. I want to be happy. I want to be healthy. And also, I'm going to leave you with this is in 2026, guys, some of you guys, I see some of the names, you've been thinking about real estate and you haven't pulled the trigger. What you're starting to see is there's a lot of opportunity. And I like what Julio said. Something I could really relate to was he was tired of waiting on the sidelines. And that was for me too. I was tired of everyone else making money. And I didn't know if I deserved it or not. And as soon as I was confident and said I deserve this, it literally changed everything for me. So I want to thank you guys. Also, tomorrow we're doing something a little weird.
Yeah, we
Uh,
are.
yeah, we're actually going to try this out because from the feedback that we've gotten, we do have our monthly quarterly meetings. Those are always the first Wednesdays, 7 p.m. We've been doing webinars Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes even Fridays around
Mhm.
the same time. So tomorrow, we're going to try something different. I'm actually going to have an evening webinar. So kind of uh, something like this where I even forgot what the name of the webinar
We're
is.
talking about some dark stuff.
Oh,
It's the deals that nearly killed Anish. Um,
okay. Oh
so,
yeah.
we always talk about the good stuff. We like to sprinkle in some craziness a little bit sometimes. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're just going to talk about some of the struggles and things that you've been through, Anish. Sorry to
Yeah.
bring to the
Yeah. All
dark
right.
side, but honestly, like this is really helpful as well to get the other flip of the
Yeah.
coin.
Yeah.
Well,
Our goal is
speak.
right. Yeah. The whole thing is you always hear about the wins on everything. And within the wins, right? Yeah, there's been sometimes got kicked in the teeth is an
Yeah.
understatement.
And I
And
hear people tell us like, oh, they never talk about the bad
yeah.
deals. Well, here you go. It'll be recorded. It'll be recorded, just like today's session was recorded. And you guys, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/at BPM REIA.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you guys. Have a great day. Go. Oh, well, I was gonna say, well, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not even gonna talk about UN yet. So I'll see you another two or three times before we get to Monday's big game out there. So Julio,
Another
sir.
raffle winner tomorrow. So
Yep. Julio, thank you so much
thank
for
you so
the
much.
insight and just being out there and letting everyone know what's really going on is number one. Harry Diamond, as usual, valuable mentor, personal friend, actually, and Julio also.
Yeah.
I know one thing we didn't touch on, and I know Julio wanted to talk about is a lot of times, as a mentor, you guys work with us. I'm a mentor, and a lot of times we become friends also. So sometimes we might be having some cocktails or lunch or dinner, and sometimes my motivation might be a different kind of push. So Julio knows. Sometimes we call it as it is. It's the Jersey in me. So some people, I'll coddle you. Some of you guys just need some tough love. So thank you guys again, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Guys,
Bye.
bye-bye.